What's going on, guys? We want to talk about Nvidia today. The stock got absolutely obliterated. Now, if we just look at the daily chart here, again, second day building coming into today below the 50-day moving average. That's very, very significant. Now, I had this on the watch list. I also called it out on the live stream today that I do for members of Evolution Traders. So if you guys want to be on the live stream in the morning, at least for the first couple hours of the day, kind of going over these levels in real time, definitely become a lifetime member. But again, so what I was talking about, we were looking at yesterday's lows here. If you kind of look at this inverse hammer candle, the 418.33. Now, first things first, we opened up lower than 418, right? So what happens in that particular situation, right? So if we kind of look, right, if we look at the bell here in the pre-market, we were trading lower than the 418.33. Now 418.33 is the pivot. That's yesterday's lows. We can clearly see from the daily chart that we just looked at that if we were to confirm that, we've got a lot of room down, right? So we want to be short. We don't want to be thinking long. We want to be thinking short. Now, when we open up below, okay, when we open up below that pivot from overnight, we have to adjust our entry to the pre-market lows. Okay, so this is one thing that I mentioned in that live stream, 416.71, and then there was another pivot at 414. Okay, so the 414 was down here. If you kind of bring it down a little bit, 416, and then if you bring it down to the 414, that was this big drop here. That was the 20 SMA play that set up. So we were looking at that 414 and a half. So there was a couple of entries here. We could have taken the first entry here once we broke below the pre-market lows. Again, you would have had to sit through a little bit of drawdown here, but again, never took out the pre-market highs, never got back over the 50-day moving average. Everything is declining. So, all momentum was kind of declining. We put in a little bit of a drop. We bounced. We put in a little bit of drop. We bounced. And I was kind of telling people in the live stream this morning that we are setting up high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And once we finally started to confirm that 413.58, that was that last level that we were watching there, was the 413.58. And the reason being is that was below pre-market lows. That was below the 20 SMA close. That's, going into the first hour candles confirmation low. So we have three things working in our favor when it comes to the stock of Nvidia. So you could have essentially taken your pick. An early entry would have been somewhere around 416. You could have waited for 414. And the last possible solution, the last possible outcome, even if you were, hesitant to pull that trigger to get short, was 413.73. So I played Nvidia short today. It was a hell of a trade. I took it on this 20 play here. So I didn't catch the initial breakdown. I was watching Tesla. And I was flipping through the charts, going through the live stream, watching the futures. So I missed the initial break here, which is okay because, it did end up bouncing here. But once I seen this drastic red candle here at around 6:40 in the morning, this first candle, once it got confirmed, I just went ahead and went short. Now, I did sit through an extended period of drawdown, probably about 20-30 minutes. But what I was looking at and what I was noticing at this point in time was, again, initial high, lower high, lower high, just gave me more confidence to just be patient, hold, relax. And then there was another entry below that 413.73, which is I also added to my position there. So on that particular break, I took 410 puts, and I was in original 415s. So my original play here at the 414.58 was 415 strikes. And then when we had the lows of 413.73, I went a little out of the money because they're cheaper, and I loaded up some more contracts at 410. Now, when this broke, it absolutely broke. I sold into the linear regression down here at 411, down here closer to mid 411s, right? So it's like 411.50, 411.60. It doesn't really matter to me on the exact cent, but what I was looking at here was selling into the next demand zone, right? I like to protect myself. Again, original entry was here. I added more to my size here on the breakdown. Boom, right? You can see it. I mean, I've got it marked out here, 413.73. I added more, and I just took as we get down into demand. lo and behold, if I would have held, we consolidated for 15 minutes and put in these monster lows at 406. So what's next for the stock, right? What's next for the stock? Extended selling going back all the way to the second, right? Big drop, a little bit of a dead cat bounce that got rejected at the 5 and 20-day moving average, big drop. What we're looking at here is if we can confirm today's lows, that initial push down to around $401. I'm going to look back to the left here, 626. We touched it once, we held, and then we went on this little run up. So if we open green on Monday, or we have a little bit of a dead cat bounce on Monday, I'm going to kind of stay away from the longs a little bit. I'm going to see if they want to confirm the 405, 406 area. And if they do, I'm going to play that down into 401. It'll be a quick scalp. I'm going to look to make $1, $2, $2.50 if I can, and then I'm going to clean up my position. Now, if we close below 401, all bets are off for the stock, meaning that I would be shooting for measured potential down at around 370s. And I would expect that to come within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So the big levels that I'm looking at, if the bulls cannot hold this area and start to reclaim back into this channel over 418, 420, I'm expecting 370. Okay, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, I do expect a short-term bounce, right? I do expect a short-term bounce sometime soon. But again, it doesn't really appetize me. I don't care if we bounce $10. It doesn't really appetize me. The short position through 405, 50s, 406 into 400s, that appetizes me. And then if we close under 401, 400, that appetizes me for a big potential trade into 369, 370. That's just how I'm going to look at it. Now, if the bulls want to completely reverse and we do want to bounce and that was it, this is the end of the selling, I need us to get over 431, and then we'll have another discussion on another video. As of right now, I'm continuing to be short biased. Market can't get out of its own way. If you look at the triple Qs, here, just a little bit of a floating indecision candle. One thing to note why I say we could have a dead cat bounce is because we're resting at the 50 EMA. And this is an indecision candle, and it's coming off of almost 2 weeks worth of back testing. So 2 weeks worth of a retracement, sitting now at a strong level of support. The line in the sand for a new short position on the Qs is below 364.50. That's automatic short position. But if we bounce, I'm going to need to see us get at least over 370 on a daily close before my mouth starts to water about going long. I'll leave the longs alone. I'll wait for the flushes through today's lows. And until we close over the 5-day moving average and start reclaiming the 50-day moving average, I'm just going to leave it as that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to trade with me each and every single day live, and you guys want access to the strategy, you want to get involved in the new live streams that I'm going to do each and every single morning, definitely become a lifetime member at evolutiontraders.com, and I'll see you guys on the next one.